Oh. Hey, what it do, what it is? What's up, everyone? My name is Gigi Marafi, aka Gushan Javanche, and this is YouDubs Let's Talk. Now, on today's show, we're going to be talking about a topic that needs to be addressed in society, which is patriarchy, matriarchy, and masculinity. Now, I am not going to be talking about this topic alone. No, sir, I am not. I've got two people with me who are going to be joining me in studio, which is Masana. She is a spoken word artist, and I've got Jesus, who is a lawyer and all-round creative. They are going to be helping me break down the topic at hand and give a diverse, alternative, yet current opinion. Now, you know us on YouDubs TV, we like to keep up with current news. So if you want to join on the conversation, please do so at our social media handles, which is Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at UWC Media Society. And the question for today that we will be asking is, what do you feel you as a student has changed most, or are you most excited about since you've moved to university? We love to hear responses. Please do use the hashtag YouDubsTV. And yeah, man, we'd love to read them out. From me, your girl Gigi Marafi, aka Gushan Javanche. Before we start off today's show, we are going to be going to Word on the Street with Duvengo, aka Lulu, to hear what the people on the street have to say.
So my name is Duvengo from YouDubs Media Society, YouDubs TV. So I just wanted to get a feel of who you are. What are you studying?
My name is Jerome Jacobs. I'm studying the admin the 3-year course.
That's amazing. So my question to you is, what do you think the patriarchy is?
From what I understand, so basically, the systematic oppression of women basically is trying to keep women down, because of the male ego. So, if a woman's equal to some men, they're scared of them. That's what I understand.
Thank you very much. So, what's your name and what are you currently studying?
My name is Adalmo Ishmael Valdez, and I'm currently studying chemical engineering at YouDubs.
Okay, chemical engineering, amazing. So tell me, what do you think is fragile masculinity?
Fragile masculinity, in my personal opinion, it's like when somebody is feeling a bit, insecure about themselves. Fragile. Masculinity has to do mostly with, it's almost like an oppression to somebody who's feeling uncomfortable with himself. That's my basic terminology to masculinity.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, what it do, what it is? What's up, everyone? My name is Gigi Marafi, aka Gushan Javanche, and this is YouDubs Let's Talk. Now, on today's show, we will be talking about an issue that needs to be addressed in society, which is patriarchy, matriarchy, and masculinity. Now, I'm not alone in this topic. I've got two people who are going to be helping me discuss this. On my left, I've got Jesus, and on my right, I've got Masana. How are you guys doing?
Good, thanks. You?
Now, matriarchy is a social system in which females, notably in mammals, hold the primary power positions in roles of political leadership, moral authority, social privilege, and control of property at the specific exclusion of males, at least to a large degree. While those definitions apply in general English, right now we are going to explain what they actually mean in real life. Now, for you, what does patriarchy mean to you?
Well, patriarchy to me is the sense of male superiority.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the definition of, the understanding of
Yeah.
coming across of it.
Okay, and what does patriarchy mean to you?
I agree with him. It's the whole social standards of us accepting male superiority,
Yeah.
whether it be at home or in political areas or in the workplace.
Okay, and what are some of the challenges you feel like you've experienced because of patriarchy?
Being told that in order to succeed or be good at something, you first need someone else. So
Yeah.
being taught dependency because of this whole patriarchal system
Yeah.
is one of the largest or main things I've experienced because of it.
Yeah. And for you, what are some of the challenges you feel like you've experienced because of patriarchy?
Or it's within the male group or within the male dynamics.
Yeah.
The exhibition of power, the necessary exhibition of power, the mentality
Yeah.
just roaming around.
And then what are some of the most memorable moments you feel like come with fragile masculinity?
Well, memorable, I won't really know, but in a sense, I feel like I see fragile masculinity. It's rooted in patriarchy. People want to be seen as the definition of a man, or the put across definition of a man, and
Yeah.
then we end up sidelining features in us which would be probably lying in the left brain type part, because there's the right brain which is more constructural, and then there's, okay, now I don't think I'm calling the brain
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But like there's a side which is more
Yeah.
manual, the side which is more flexible.
Yeah.
So like artists are more on the flexible side, that's why some of them have feminine tendencies.
Yeah.
As soon as you show those tendencies, that is when men just feel like, okay, something is wrong with me and all of that. And
Yeah.
in that sense, they lose a lot of themselves, because you are a whole thing and not necessarily this definition of a thing.
Yeah.
Humans existed before the definition of the thing.
Yeah.
So like you're gonna come with features which lie on the other side, on the other side.
Yeah.
And then males trying to do away with the others, they do away with themselves, and then they become these things which aren't really balanced, hence we
Yeah.
find a lot of unbalanced males.
Yeah. And for you, what are some of the most memorable moments you feel like comes with fragile masculinity?
With fragile masculinity is, well, having the mindset, equity, femininity, for example, is quote unquote contagious. So
Yeah.
you're afraid to be more humane, or show that more humane side, with the fear of being called a woman, because it's mostly characteristics that are associated with women. For example, simple things like wearing the color pink, or being able to show your emotions or cry. You tell yourself that you cannot do that because it will break you, what you call being a man,
Yeah.
your masculinity.
And now we read something that suggested that patriarchy is not an African idea. What are your opinions on that?
I personally don't care whether it is an African idea or
Yeah.
European idea,
Yeah.
an Asian idea. The fact stays that it is an idea that has been embedded within us, and
Yes.
we see as true, when honestly we should try to do something about where it originates shouldn't really matter.
Okay.
But what we're going to do with it from henceforth should be what matters.
Yeah. And for you, what are your opinions on that?
Like I feel like it kind of matters where it originates, because in a sense, like it comes from a survival
Okay.
structure. Like now the term patriarchy is a now thing. We observed what was happening, and then we said, okay, male superiority, males are doing more important jobs, and this we see as patriarchy, as in male superiority in a
Yeah.
sense. But it was more of a thing of human thing. It originates with human structure. The male needs to use his muscles to fight off the animals, to fight off the people robbing the houses, because laws and everything
Yeah.
is a now thing. Law is based on threat and values. It's not really a embedded thing. You weren't born not knowing not to rob the person.
Yeah.
You don't rob a person because you don't want to go to jail or anything like that. Back then there was no jails. There was nothing. If I want to go in your house, I will go in and take what I want, rape the woman, and then I will go. But if there is a male put there in charge, given that role of power, he feels that he has a sense of responsibility to protect everyone.
Okay.
Because now if you're going to say like, okay, cool, we're going to apply the concept of patriarchy or it being a thing in just the general upbringing of humans, we say we just all like lived equally in a sense, but like equal is contextual. Equal doesn't mean if I wear yellow, you must wear yellow.
Yeah.
If I stand on 2 bricks, you must stand on 2 bricks.
Yeah.
If I'm taller than you, you stand on 2 bricks and do my height, that is equality.
Okay. And now, do you think patriarchy is wrong?
Patriarchy is very, very wrong. Fuck, I'm so sorry.
Do you think patriarchy is wrong?
Yes, I do believe that patriarchy is wrong.
Why is that?
I believe that it's wrong because it is like the subtle, it lets us accept the subtle oppression of women,
Mhm.
right? As much as people might choose not to see it that way, it's in the little things that patriarchy stands for,
Yeah.
that is honestly not for or on the side of a
Yeah.
woman, especially a woman in the 21st century.
Yeah.
Maybe back then it was okay,
Yeah.
wasn't okay, but now we shouldn't accept it.
Yeah. Now, what do you consider as being gender roles? Like, what are gender roles to you?
Gender roles are basically norms or things that the world says you should do
Yeah.
based on the genitalia that you came out with.
Yes.
So how you should dress, how you should speak, how you should behave, how you should feel, all based on genitalia. And for me, honestly, that is an irrational view
Yeah.
of things. But to some extent, very small extent, I do believe it is reasonable.
Okay. And what are gender roles to you?
Okay, like I'm sorry, can I just rehash the last question? Okay, patriarchy is wrong in our society now,
Okay.
but back then it was a thing. It was very relevant and valuable. Gender roles are also based on back then, like we just continued norms which aren't really serving society. Now they're not really serving society, it's not a thing, and I don't think it should be a thing. But at the same time, gender roles are based on what you can do now and who you are. I can cook better. If you can drive better, then let's do the thing. I'll cook, you'll drive.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, Jesus and Masana. Thank you so much. We asked you guys back there at home, what do you think has changed most since you came from uni? And right now we're going to go into your...
Tell me what your names are and what you're currently studying.
My name is Sabine and I'm doing LB Law.
Hello, and you?
Patriarchy medical bioscience.
Oh, amazing. So, my question to you guys is, if the patriarchy was a human being, tell me, what do you think they would have had for breakfast this morning?
Patriarchy, as I've said before, is such a very broad term. It's very broad. Are we looking at it from a perspective as in the rape culture, like femicide, or are we looking for it on a gender neutral point of view?
I feel as if everything, like gender, patriarchy as a whole.
As a whole, honestly, I think patriarchy is like even culture is patriarchic. Everything is like for men. Like if you look at culture, if you look at sports, everything is for men. And we're getting so used to rape culture. If we say this is wrong, it looks like we are wrong. If you tell a guy, no, I don't want to do this, you look like a fool. And that's not supposed to be the case. I genuinely feel like men need to be taught not to be men as in physical strength is what makes you a man, but they need to be taught that a man is not like, be a man, support your family. If you look at the statistics, it's very bad. 63% of the men in South Africa do not like cater for their children. What does that tell you? There's a cycle. The next generation is not going to have fathers. Then what does that tell you? That speaks volumes on another level. So if you say patriarchy, you have to be very specific on what you're saying. Like honestly speaking, if you guys are doing this for awareness, I'm genuinely happy, but your actions should be awareness too. Don't just end here. If like the men, like honestly speaking, the men that were like, men must come back, those are the same men that are perpetrators.
Yes.
You cannot tell me that you're going to stand here and say femicide, gender-based violence, this and that, and then continue doing the same things. Rape culture in clubs is something else. Everyone goes through something. One in four. Yo, guys, it's really heartbreaking. Actually, it's really heartbreaking. Females are seen as objects. That's what we do. We cater to men. Like, what is that? What is that?
And
you have to work 2 times as hard to be in the same position. What is that?
And we need to talk about this more, but thank you so much.
How do you teach that to them? How do you teach that to them? Like, guys, it's genuinely.
Thank you so much for your opinions. Thank you so much for your words of wisdom. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
So then what am I supposed to say?
What do you believe it means?
Yo, but I don't even know what the word.
Question for both of you guys is, can you spell patriarchy? You go first.
It's Patriarchy. Oh god. Hy, I think so.
And you?
I'll go the same as him without the H.
Can you please tell me like what your names are and what you're currently studying?
I'm Felicia. I'm studying at Patriarchy.
And
Okay,
you?
I'm studying medical bioscience first year.
Oh, that's amazing. So, my question to both of you is, what do you think is fragile masculinity?
I don't know.
And then you?
Okay, isn't it like when you're trying to nurse a male's feelings? Isn't it like that? Like not just feelings, but their character in general. So you just kind of making them feel entitled and they actually feel entitled and dominant. Are you referring to males?
Yes, males. Okay.
I can't swear, right?
You can.
You can.
Feel free to.
Overall pieces of shit. Very much.
That was a wrap, folks, for today. This was YouDubs TV. I'd like to thank everyone who came to studio today, Masana and Jesus, for helping me unpack the topic that we had today. Please do follow us on our social media handles, which is at Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at UWC Media Society. And please do follow us on YouTube. You must like, comment, and subscribe, and click the notification bell so you get notified when we do post our episodes. It is YouDubs TV on YouTube. And for me, your girl Gigi Marafi, aka Kushan Javanche, my name is at yourbaby._ on Instagram right here, right? Thank you so much. This was me, your girl Gigi, and this was YouDubs TV.